Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's alright. Today I'm doing another VOD review for Gabe. Gabe essentially came to me with 5,000 channel points on my Twitch, and essentially I will do a VOD review for Gabe, and obviously I'll do it for anyone else as well that wants to spend 5,000 channel points. Basically, you get them for free by just sitting and lurking and just watching, and I'll happily do them live on stream. Normally I would like talk to you guys as well, so you know you get like kind of like some like first hand kind of like advice and stuff like that, and I also upload it to my YouTube, which is obviously where you guys are going to be watching it from, so you can like rewatch it afterwards as well, and you can watch other Mercies. So we have Gabe here. Gabe, we did a VOD review for I believe like a couple like weeks ago or something, and they were bronze. We're now up to silver, which is great, and doing this VOD review today on Lijiang. We seem to have a Sigma, Ashe, Reaper, and Moira. Ashe is obviously going to be a Maybelline Bean target, which is great, but honestly a really good damage boost comp. Like if your Reaper gets like kind of like aggro, you can damage boost him. Moira orbs are great to damage boost. Sigma is also great to damage boost. So yeah, so we'll see what we're doing. What I would normally do here coming out of spawn, specifically like on these maps, I switch to a Lucio, and it's purely just what's it called, you can speed your team out, give them a bit of an advantage just to get their switch back to Mercy and pocket people. So already doing the right thing. Love how you're playing. Okay, I don't know whether you would do. Oh, hold on. Ah, what's happening? The thing's gone. Okay, there we go. Here I wouldn't have GA'd over to here, right? Because I feel as though I don't know if you would be able to help your Ashe, but you kind of like GA'd into like a bit of like a wonky spot. So what, you were up here. Here you want to GA down here. Right, and you kind of like, you can crouch. If you like stay crouched, you can stay around the statue. You can stand, but obviously what's it called, you might get LOS with these people, and it feels like if you were able to connect your beam here to your Ashe and stay here, I don't know if you would be able to help her or not, but yeah, I do like this rotation though. Like it was a good rotation, do not get me wrong, but sometimes you have to kind of like focus on like who you're pocketing and kind of like what they're doing, but it's all good. We'll see what carries on in a second. So healing Sigma, nice. With Sigma, especially when he's not being focused like this, you can damage boost his orbs really nicely because he does like a shoot, shoot, reload. Shoot, shoot, reload. And what you can do is you flick damage boost on for the shoot, and then while he's like doing the weird like reloady kind of thing, you can heal him back up. Just to get those like little extra bits of damage boost him. Oh gosh, very fast flick up, which is fair enough. Nice rotation back. Lovely staying out of the way of the Doomfist. Nice. I think the only kind of difference I would make there is I would have rotated around like the back of the point instead of rotating onto point, because it's a lot like more dangerous rotating onto point rather than rotating like round the side. So what I would have done here is instead of like poking out here, I would have like tried to get my beam on, but then do like a wall jump round and then come over here. But it is carry on. Nice. So here, yeah, you want to be like pushing forward, just like nice, like what you're doing. Lovely GA back into cover and stuff. I think you're like a little bit lost here. Like I feel as though you're like looking for your Ashe. Nice pocket on your Reaper here though. I would have done a super jump up here. You could just do like a directional GA, like and just kind of like hide behind here. Just play over here. Because once again, like shooting yourself up into the air makes you quite vulnerable. I love this position up here though, because you kind of like stand up here and then kind of like rotating down like quite quickly was really, really good, especially to pocket your Reaper. Because obviously your Reaper is the one that's engaging right now, not your Ashe. So that's really, really good. I enjoyed that. But yeah. I'd very nice on the Reaper. Nice rotation back to Ashe. I'd damage boost Ashe here. Hold on, I want to play this out this way just to see what your Ashe ends up to your Ashe. So in all honesty, you don't really need to be with your Reaper here, because essentially you have like your entire team on the point here. I would have carried on playing this with your Ashe, right? Because she was fighting this Cassidy. The Cassidy has like the sticky still does a lot of damage, and obviously if she's what's it called, Ashe is kind of mid, Reaper was doing better. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it seems already that your Reaper's doing quite a bit. But I would have like stayed with your Ashe there personally. Just to kind of help her with that 1v1, especially because your Reaper has the rest of the team there. If you see like your team is starting to struggle and the Ashe hasn't killed yet, then I'd 100% peel back and stuff. Bit of a dangerous rotation, but it's all good. in this scenario, like, even though your Reaper is doing better, your Reaper is hiding here. Like, essentially, your Reaper is waiting for them to engage and stuff. So you could either just sit here, if you wanted to fully pocket this Reaper because he's doing more, you could sit here with your Sigma and damage boost your Sigma here. Because it's kind of like you did this rotation and got, like, a little bit lost of, like, oh my gosh, where's my team? Like, either stay over here and pocket your Sigma while your Reaper isn't peeking, or you're more than welcome to just come and, like, sit with your Ashe over here. Normally it would be your Ashe, but if you're saying that your Ashe didn't do very much, then I 100% understand why you're, like, with your team here. But we'll see how it plays out. Can't really do anything to help your Moira here. Nice rotation away. Lovely GA away. Your sense seems so fast. Like, you're, like, flicking about, like, all over the place here. It always seems kind of weird. You always seem to, like, default back to, like, wanting to be on the point for some reason. In all honesty, you don't need to be. You can literally just stay with your team here. Nice res, waiting for, like, a safe point, which is really, really good. Okay, I'm just going to pause it here. My mouse has a DPI button, I accidentally clicked on it. Yeah, I was wondering why it was because you're, like, flicking about so much. Right, you seem to have this obsession with the point, right? Where it's like, you could very much, like, play with your team here and, like, do other bits with your team. But you have this, like, obsession with the point where it's like, oh my gosh, they're on the point. Like, we need to, like, quickly get there. Leave that for your team to do. Your team will push when they need to. Like, it might be that your team are focusing someone else. Like, obviously, your Reaper was focusing other people. Like, literally, you can just, like, focus, what's it called? You don't need to, like, worry about this point so much because it always feels like you're defaulting back to being on the point where you don't need to. Like, just stay out with your team. As Mercy, you should very rarely be the one that is contesting point or being on point. And the reason is because you can't really do anything if you're on the point, and it just makes you very, what's it called? Makes you very vulnerable. But it's all good. Love this damage boost. Got the block out, fair enough. I would have, like, mass damage boost there, but it's all good. I'm a payload princess too much. Exactly. We need to get out of that mindset and stuff like that. Like, we need to focus on doing the point more. Like, what's it called? Like, focus on your team more, sorry, not the point. Because at the moment you seem to have this obsession with being on the point and, like, making sure that it's not being contested and stuff like that. Just leave it. Like, if the point ends up being capped, but you're with your team and you've helped eliminate that team fight, who cares if we've got a few percentage ticks? Like, you can literally, what's it called? Sorry, I'm just laughing at you, like, spinning around and everything. Yeah, who cares if they get a few percentage ticks? If you win the team fight, you'll easily get it back really, really quickly. Same thing again here. I would have, like, sped out as Lucio. It's all good. Okay, I hear a Farah. This means 100% no matter how, like, good your Reaper is doing, you need to now be with your Ashe. And the reasoning is because Ashe will struggle very much by herself to play against a Farah. Like, luckily they don't have, like, a Mercy to go with it, but if it was a pharmacy, your Ashe is going to get rolled. So here, I know your Reaper's doing well, and I know he's, like, doing a lot, but you have to be with your Ashe at this point. So, see what you do. Going in. I would have not gone in, like, this far, right? I would have not gone in like this. I understand if you wanted to go in, get your beam on, and then GA out to go be with your Ashe, 100%. You kind of, like, slingshot yourself into the enemy team here. You never, ever want to do this. Plus that as well, you have Moira. Moira's right here to come and help heal him. All you need to do is get your beam on, get that little bit of extra healing, and then just slingshot blackout. Yeah, it's like you slingshot too far. I'd either, like, GA and then just cancel your GA and play around here if you desperately wanted to be close to him. Or you just kind of get in, put your beam on him, and then come back and help your Ashe, because your Ashe is going to get dove in a second by all these people. So we get slammed, but it's all good. I'd res here. Nobody's looking at you. Okay. Okay, this whole scenario is a bit of a mess, I feel like, right? So, what should have happened here? Everyone is still healthy, everyone's still alive. So you go in, you res here. right? Because you had nobody looking at you because that life weave, like all the team is behind this wall, so they're already focusing on point. And then the life weaver's already like healing. It was kind of like over here. He will have you in his LOS and stuff, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough, especially if you go for the res straight away, as he wouldn't have been fast enough to get you, right? So you kind of like stand over here and you can res because obviously everyone's distracted, so you're not going to get boops off the edge or something like that. You play this side, so you cut LOS of the life weaver and you res. Obviously, you didn't decide to res, right? But you kind of like hung about a bit thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I, should I, should... Like, with Mercy, you need to be very instantaneous with your decisions, right? And instead of just being like, oh, should I, shouldn't I? If you wanted to come in, you go in quickly and you go and help your team. And then you kind of like slingshot yourself onto point and it was like, oh, well, you know, team fight's over kind of thing. But it's all good. I think you just needed to do that thing quicker. Like, no matter how badly someone is performing or like you think someone's performing on your team, you still need to help them out, you know? Like, it's not like you ignore them for the entire game unless it's like specific like feeding and stuff. Nice heal on the Orisa. You have Echo now, who is probably a better damage boost target. This slingshot, I would have done it up and then up onto this roof here because you can kind of like sit and like slide on this roof if you needed to, or you can do the same kind of like on this roof, kind of like over here. Because you kind of like slingshot yourself like once again like out into the enemy team, and you kind of like, although this is like a good like place and stuff like that, there is not as much cover as there is kind of over up here and stuff like that. So you wanted to here. It was either a plat DPS or a silver DPS. Exactly, but it's still like no matter like what the rank is, it's like it's still what it's called. People can still get value, and people will have your plat DPS might just have like a really bad game, and then it's like. But you're like, oh, but they're plat, they're going to do better and stuff like that. You have to like kind of think you're like, at that specific time, I think who was doing better. And I know your Reaper was doing better, but at the same time, you still need to help out your team and stuff like that. So sadly, your Orisa gets poked off. Nice damage response to the dynamite. Lovely pocketing your aggro here. Same thing again, you don't need to be on point here. I feel as though once again, you put yourself into a very risky scenario when you don't need to. Your team isn't ready to push the point yet, specifically because you don't have your tank either. This slingshot, you just slingshot and just play beside here, and you help your Moira out. Sadly, she ends up dying, which is fair enough. All good. I would have just slingshotted around the corner there, but it's okay. Sadly, get punched. And you just kind of stay with your, what's it called? I know how you're like looking for that res, but there's absolutely no way you're going to get that res off. You need to be with your Echo here. There we go. Moira somehow died. That was meant to be a GA to Orisa, wasn't it? And I feel that. That's not even your fault. That was just a misinput, wasn't it? Yeah, just unlucky. You can res that though. Yep, very nice. And you have your Echo as well there to protect you, which is great. You got some lovely escapes from this, what's it called, this Echo. You know what I feel like? I feel as though you slingshot and then you get yourself a bit lost of like, oh my gosh, where am I? And I don't know whether that's like knowledge or like whether you're like uncomfortable or like your sense or something, I don't know. But it's like you kind of like slingshot and it's like you're looking round next to the next person, right? I think at this point you did the right thing of like obviously peeling for your Ashe, but then your eyes should be directly on like, okay, how's my Echo doing? And I feel as though you're kind of like hanging about a bit like, oh my gosh, where's my Echo? You know? You just need your eyes on her like a little bit sooner. See, nice peel for your Ashe again. Go up in the air here. Yep. Just unfortunate that they died. Nice rise. My sense is higher than the clouds. And honestly, sometimes it might help you just to have it a little bit lower. Especially if like it's a little bit too quick for you. Like it's all over the place and you can't really distinguish what's going on in the game. Like you want to have a sense that's quick so you can quickly take in information and like flick around to people. But at the same time you want a sense that's not too quick and you have absolutely no clue what is going on. It's the same thing again here, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, the contest at the point, we need someone on, and you're like rushing towards the point. Just hang back. Hang back, stay with your Echo, because you were fine. You were doing really well. Like, you were pocketing your Echo, and you should have literally just GA'd and just literally just sat up here and pocketed her, because you have eyes on your Ashe here. I believe your Moira is still... Where is your Moira? I think your Moira's still alive. Yeah, your Moira's still alive, so she can help out on point. And then, obviously, you just sit here and pocket. You're doing that same thing again, where it's like, oh my god, we need to contest point. We need to contest point. Right? There's no need. That is not your job, and you don't need to, like, panic and just do that, right? I feel as though that's, like, your main issue. I'm gonna be honest. It's like, you have this, like, kind of, like, constant fear of, oh my gosh, I need to contest the point. Lovely damage boost on the Orisa roll, though. Lovely. Lovely res as we're waiting for the end of the fight. Right, I'm gonna be honest. Your damage boost and your healing is great. I love, like, when you damage boost, when you heal, all this kind of stuff, right? The only thing that I have an issue with you right now is the fact that you have this, like, kind of obsession of, oh my gosh, I need to contest the point. I need to be the one that's on the point. When in reality, you absolutely do not need to be. Lovely damage boost. Lovely slingshot to get to Ashe. I think with flying heroes, if you ever pocket in a flying hero, or like any kind of pocket in general, right? If you need to go and peel for whoever it is, you just need to, like, stick with this person, fly out to who you need to be, but then as soon as you get to them, or as soon as you know you're in, like, a safe position and you're with them, you need to be straight away looking, okay, where's my pocket target? Or, like, just do a quick look around at, obviously, your other heroes and stuff. The main one is obviously kind of like your pocket target, especially if it's like a Pharah or an Echo, because normally, like, you know, if they start flying up without you and then they die, it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, you need to, like, be looking at them and constantly, like, you know, looking for them, if you get me. But I love this damage boost, though. Great peel for your, what's it called? Your Moira. This one's better. Like, you let your team engage first, and you don't worry about the point. This is what you need to be doing every single time when the point gets contested. I like it. I wouldn't have super jumped up here on the just in case they have, like, a hit scan and stuff. Like, the Moira, they may can hit, like, an ice on you and stuff. What you can do on this point, if you ever want to, is you can just, like, sit on these windows if you ever need. Like, I know it's a bit risky, especially with, like, the enemy team on this side, but if ever the team fight's, like, on your side, you can just sit up here. And I love how you're playing, like, off the point as well here. This is perfect. And you can, like, easily just jiggle peek this wall if you needed to. You're playing, like, very, very nice, like, position-wise, like, here at the moment. I love that. I would have gotten to kind of, like, help the Orisa a little bit sooner there. You had an opportunity to res there, I'm going to be very honest. Because the Doomfist was, like, distracted over here and everything like that. All you need to do is grab this orb, and you can do, like, a slight little bunny hop, or, like, a slight rotation over and use this cover. Because the Doomfist has, like, no physical way to get to you while, like, Wally's here. Because, like, if he tries, like, punching straight forward to you, you're, like, tucked away nicely over here. So you'll get that res off if you need to. But we'll carry on. Love the healing on your Ashe. We got the res off later, which is good. And we win the fight. So, overall, Gabe, it was a strong match, I'll say that. Like, your damage boost and your healing is absolutely perfect. Like, you know when you need to damage boost things, you know when to heal. Like, it's really good. And I think also, like, some bits of your mechanics are quite good as well. My biggest piece of advice for you is I feel as though your sense might be a little too high for you. Because I feel as though you're kind of like flicking about, like, very quickly, but it's too quick, if you get me. So you need to, like, turn that down a bit. The second thing is, do not worry about the point whatsoever. Like, if people, what's it called? If, like, you always have this, like, obsession of, like, wanting to go to the point. I mentioned this, like, quite a few times now. So honestly, just leave it. Like, if there's people that are going to contest the point, you just wait and then let other people contest it. You damage boost those people, eliminate them, bam, done. My final thing as well is, when you were pocketing the Echo, you seemed a little bit like, you didn't really know, like, how to pocket her, like, fluidly, if you get me. Like with your echo, try to like stay in the air with her quite a bit if when she is, and be sure to be using that angelic descent, because there was a lot of time it was kind of like you GA to her and then just like fall down to the ground and stuff like that. So you kind of like want to GA to her and then just like kind of like float around a little bit, like around the cover that she's playing at and stuff like that. But overall, Gabe, very, very strong VOD. Like same as your last one, once again, very, very strong. But yeah, that kind of like concludes the VOD. Thank you everyone who like sat around and watched. Thank you to all you guys on YouTube as well. Once again, if you want your own VOD reviews, you can do them for 5,000 channel points, and I will do them live on stream. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.